Alrighty, good morning, sixth graders. I know it has been interesting trying to work on this essay, and you guys have all worked really, really hard on it. So, step one, you, thank yourself for all your hard work so far. So, first, I know a lot of you are getting this error right here. I don't know why, but it's happening, so we're going to work through it. So, step one, if you're getting this error, if you have typed all of your stuff through the external tool through Canvas, um, then what you need to do is if all you're worrying about is a formatting issue, I want you to go look up at that submit button, click, and you should be good to go for your essay. And as you can see, I've highlighted it here, pointed towards it. Submit that if all you're worrying about is formatting, because we want to see what your brains have written down. We can worry about formatting later. We're just trying to troubleshoot Canvas. So if you are trying to come in here to submit your assignment, but you typed on the word app on your iPad and you get this error, it means you aren't able to type here and it's going to take you back to your app. At that point, you should not touch this submit button because you're not going to have anything through here. So what I need you to do is to email myself as well as Mrs. Schulte. You can do that by going to Canvas, um, going to your inbox and sending us, it looks like a message, send us a message and upload the file from your iPad to us. Then what we will have to do is on the back end of Canvas, we can submit it as a comment to your assignment. So Canvas might appear to say that it's missing. However, if you see that comment go through, if you have any questions after you've sent us that file, let us know because what we're going to do is we're going to submit it as a comment and you should be good to go. Canvas might show it missing on your end, but we'll take care of you. Okay, now we're actually going to go into looking at what this external tool, if it will launch for me on my computer, what it looks like if you're trying to make those edits. Alrighty, everybody, I am back. So make sure if you're under the assignments for explanatory final copy, that is what we are looking at right now. So if you go here, you'll get some directions on the header. So if you have some questions, I've gotten a lot of questions. I don't mind responding to them. But if you have, hey, what's our font size? Beeps. You got it right here. All that information is here. Now, if you have a question on how, hopefully this will help you out. So first of all, this should look about similar to what you see on your iPad if you get into the external tool. We need your header to include your name. So I'm going to go ahead and type my name first. So I'm going to put Brennan R. Then I'm going to put my homeroom, and we're going to pretend that since I work a lot with Mrs. Brunson, that Mrs. Brunson is my homeroom. After that, we need to put what class we're typing for. So if I'm in Mrs. Brunson's ELA class, I'm going to type Brunson ELA. If I'm in Hutchison's, I'm going to put Hutchison there. And then we're going to put the date. So I'm over here typing November. So today is January. So January, I always have a hard time spelling January 27th. You're going to put a comma, 2021. Now, if you guys are wondering, all right, cool, I have this, but it says it needs to be that single spacing thing. Here's what you do. So on your iPad, you're going to need to hold down on probably here, and you're going to get two dots so you can highlight. So you need to highlight all of this. Remember, everything needs to be in Times New Roman. So you need to go up here to change to Times New Roman, and to change your font size, you come here and you hit 12. If I'm going a little bit fast, you can always pause the video. Remember that. Then, if you're like, all right, cool, I've got you, I'm here. You go over to these three dots for more options, and you're going to see under paragraph, you're going to see this button called line spacing. When you click on line spacing, it's going to give you all these options, which are awesome. But we gotta get a little bit deeper than that. So I need you to click on this gear for line spacing options. Once you've done that, don't worry about the alignment. If you go over to spacing, after needs to be changed to 0. So you can just take out that 8 and put a 0 in. I don't know why Word does that, but it does. Then for line spacing, it should read single. Single for your header. And then once you click that, it should change like this. Now, if you're wondering how to do your title, I want you to hit enter and then hit enter again. So we want that extra space between your header and your title. If you're looking here on Canvas, include a title centered and in size 18 font. The way you can do that is if you see these 3 lines, it's called text alignment. You're going to see long, short, a symbol that looks like this. Click on it and click on the second one. That says align center. Then once you've aligned centered, come up to your font and change it to 18. Then what you can do is you can start typing, and I'm going to put my wonderful essay title here. This is how you're going to put your essay title in. It needs to be centered and an 18-point font, Times New Roman. All right. Now, if you're trying to copy over your essay, what you need to do is you need to hit enter. I'm going to tell you to hit enter again. And you're going to go back and change that text alignment to align left. And you're going to go back to your font. You're going to change it to 12. And before, if you have all your writing here, you're going to need to change that spacing if it isn't double. So in just a second, I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so everyone, I am back. I was just pulling up a paper for us to use. So what we are going to do is we're actually going to start typing our essay. So I'm going to be sharing with you an analysis of Moby Dick, which is Story About a Whale, long story. And I had to do a chapter analysis of chapter 23, which was the lee shore. And so I'm going to title the name of my paper what I'm talking about, right? And so once we go in here, you're going to hit enter twice, so there's a space between your writing and your paper there. Change your alignment to, I'll do that again for you, alignment to left. Change your font to 12. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to just copy and paste in my introduction. So there we go. Alrighty. So first of all, when you copy in, if you're looking like this, where there's no indenture here, you need to hit tab once. Tab is right above caps lock. It's toward the left, right next to Q. So once you've hit tab, if you just copy and paste it in, you've got a good introduction. Our introduction, if you are sharing a personal story, that is the only time in the paper you should be using first person pronouns, I, we, us, stuff like that. Make sure you're sticking to that formal tone that we talked about in class. Then, if you've already written it and you're right here, hold up a minute. If you're struggling with your introduction paper, start off with a personal anecdote or a short story about how an animal helped you or you helped an animal. And then you need to end your introduction paragraph with your thesis statement. So for me, my thesis statement is talking about the character of Bulkington. And so I actually break up my paper talking exactly about fears, needs, desires that are driven by the historical context. I'm going to bold that. Do not bold it. This is just for you to see. You need to end your introduction with your thesis statement. Okay. Then, when you are typing, you need to start with a topic sentence. Each body paragraph, we're going to have about 3, should look like this. So you're going to have a topic sentence. And then you're going to have your what your author is saying. So what did you pull from the story? What quote did you decide to use? What evidence? So then you're going to have your quoted evidence, right? And then after that quoted evidence, you need to finish up with 1 to 2 sentences on why you chose that quote. What is it telling us? We are not looking for a summary of what happened, right? Because we can read, we know what happened. but tell us this is showing that animals care about each other, and give that example why. Tell us why you chose that quote. So for me, I'm going to copy and paste in um, giving some context about um, the chapter here that I was writing about. So I start off with context, double check that that's not going to, okay, boom. I've got my next paragraph here. If you look here, I give some introduction. Yours doesn't need to be as long. This is for a college paper, everyone. But if you see right here, I gave a small little introduction of Melville Wright's. So if you are giving us that quote, we need you to tell us why, not tell us why, but tell us the author states, introduce the quote, then give the quote, and then notice how I put the quote all in quotations. Make sure you do that. And after that, I pose a question, and I even explained the question. So even our narrator, Ishmael, is left astounded by his eagerness to cast away time on land. Okay, so I give some context of why I chose that quote. What we need from you my awesome paper is this. And I'm going to have to hurry because I have to be in a Zoom pretty soon. We need your introduction paragraph. Make sure you start off each paragraph with that indenture. Introduction paragraph. Start off with a short story, then follow up with your thesis statement. Then, if you have your next paragraph, I'm going to call that body paragraph 1. It's where you're giving our first piece of evidence. What you're going to do is you're going to have a topic sentence. Give us a quote, direct quote actually, from the story. And so what I mean by direct quote is you're going to have those quotations. You're going to type word for word what the story says. Then you're going to have 1 to 2 sentences explaining the quote. Right? And then after that, wrap up your paragraph with 1 more sentence, with a closing sentence. Then you're going to do this for each of your points. You should have 3 points. So you do that again and again. Right? And so, not 21. Dear Lord, you aren't writing research paper. There we go. So you're going to have body paragraph 1, 2, and 3. You're going to start with the introduction. Then you're going to have both of these paragraphs. They're going to be a lot longer than what I'm showing you here. Then, once you've finished all the points that you had in your thesis and what you wrote down on your graphic organizer, you're going to have your conclusion paragraph. And what the conclusion paragraph does for readers and for our writers is it gives us as writers just the ability to give our readers one last glimpse of what we're trying to say. If you've heard of too long didn't read, conclusion paragraph is basically that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a topic sentence that reflects, by reflects, that also means says the same thing, says a similar thing as your thesis. So restate your thesis. Then, after that sentence, give 1 sentence per body paragraph. In those sentences, explain your main, restate your main point for that paragraph. So what this is going to do is this will give you 3 more sentences. Then wrap up with a final sentence. I know it seems like a lot of work. The reason we do that is so our readers are basically taken all the way through our paper real quick. If you're saying in paragraph 1, if you're talking about the horses and how they helped people, you need to write 1 sentence about that. And then if you use something for Hachiko in paragraph 2, write a sentence about Hachiko. What was your main point from that paragraph? Then do that with paragraph 3. Once you've done all that, you're going to have a little paragraph that ends up the essay in a succinct, nice way. Now, as you can see, all of this is still single spaced. 1 second, I need some water. Okay, so in order to fix that, let me show you how to do that right here, right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to highlight. Remember, that's holding down if you need to on the iPad. You have to drag um, the dots. So there's a dot here and a dot here. Once you're at that point, make sure your font is 12. If it's not, double check. And then you need to do is you need to go back to these 3 dots for paragraph options. You need to go back to line spacing. And go, remember, hit line spacing options. Make sure before and after under spacing are set to 0. Line spacing, you need to set to double. You need to set to double for all your writing, for like when you're typing your essay. Your header and your title can be single spaced. This needs to be double. And then you're going to hit OK. And then boom, looks like you wrote a lot more now and you're going to take up some more space, but that's okay. That's so we can edit it and write in here and help you. So if you can get your paper looking like this, you are good. If formatting is the only thing holding your paper back right now, turn in your paper. We can fix that later. Lastly, this paper is not the end of the world. We will work with you through it. Thank you all for giving us everything telling us what you need so we can help you out. We know you're putting in that effort, and we really, really appreciate all your hard work. I have one more thing before I go. I will be in a Zoom meeting all day today. This is Wednesday, the 27th. And so this is our asynchronous workday. If you need help, I sent all of you individually comments about your essays. So please check those out. So you have those comments. Um, please check those out. But I also sent you all the Zoom link where I will be all day long, except for like noon to 1. I have an interview. But beyond that, throughout this entire school day, I will be here. I will get this video up as soon as I can. I just need to send it to Dr. Shivers, and hopefully he will get it up for us soon. Anyway, you all stay cool, stay rad, be good, do some good, get out there, help other peeps, keep being excellent.